Well, at least we know where that meme comes from now.
I wish I didn't.
Yeah. Should we talk about Curb Your Enthusiasm first?
Didn't take me long to curb it. My enthusiasm waned almost immediately.
I don't get why it's funny. I don't get why it's been going for 100 years.
Well, I think, isn't there anything that Larry David's ever done?
No, he did Seinfeld, didn't he? That's the whole point. That's one of the jokes. Is that tell the mate to do who you are, try and get a table. And he wrote on Seinfeld or something.
Oh.
He co-created Seinfeld, which I now don't want to watch.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, Seinfeld. It's a very, from what I have seen, which is very little. It's very like this. And it's sort of very American. Like, I don't really get it.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. It's not. I don't even want to write it off entirely because it's American. Because don't go. We'll get to Lead Balloon. But I like American stand-ups. Not all of them, or actually all that many. But I like some of them. And I feel like actually with both of these shows that, less so with Curb Your Enthusiasm, but more with Lead Balloon, that the core of the show should be seeing a bit of stand-up. But I want these to be like Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. And that's what they could be, because that's a show that's similar, in a similar vein of like, less so struggling comedian, she's more budding comedian. But they could be so much better, if you know they were funny.
Like, I just hate him, but not in like a good way. Like I just don't want to watch him. He's just awful.
Yeah, I think. How many seconds into the show were you before you went, this isn't for me?
Really, like, surprisingly few.
I think it was as soon as he walked in and he was like, I'm going to make a joke about my trousers in the way that when I sit down, it makes a little thing. And I was like, I made that joke when I was a child. Because that's when it was actually not even funny then. But it was a good bit of observation to then be like, yeah, no, when you sit down, your trousers fold up a bit and it makes a little bit look like you've got an erection. And that's the whole joke in this whole episode.
And
I mean, apart from obviously
apart from him being awful to a person in the cinema.
Yeah, no, I think the Hitler joke in the car as well was pretty bad. I think probably not as bad as being a bit of a... He just seems like a bit of a... No, that's offensive
Dick.
to divas. But you know, the people who need you to know that they're successful.
Yes. I mean, like, I get that it's... I get that it's supposed to be like it's an exaggerated version of him. But even still, I'm still then like, okay, I just don't ever want to be anywhere near you.
Yeah, that's the thing. There are ways to do like an exaggerated version of yourself that's still not this. I don't want to call it offensive because it offends my sense of humour. But it just, like, you can do an exaggerated version of a real person and it can work. Like, it worked for episodes when they did like an exaggerated sort of cuntier version of Matt LeBlanc, and that worked because you're like, I can still see, maybe it's because you know more about Matt LeBlanc than you do about Larry David, but Yeah, I've been looking down and reading some of the other synopses for other episodes, and it just doesn't make me any more interested.
Yeah. How about the fact that Lauren Graham's in it?
It just makes me question her life choices.
Yeah.
Is she in it? Is it like a recurring character? If she's in an episode, I can forgive it.
I actually don't know. I just googled like funny moments, Curb Your Enthusiasm, and then she's in one of them. But that's pretty much it. Do you know? It's mad because I know. You know how normally we say
Bryan Cranston's in it as well.
You know how we normally say when a show is bad, we have more to say on it. This is one of the first times I actually have less to say on it because it's bad.
I think it's hard because there's not. It's different when it's a long show that's bad, because you've got a lot that you can be like, oh, this bit was bad, but this has a joke. It's just when I sit down, my trousers look a bit like I've got an erection, and there's no like other. I can't find any other story in it to. Admittedly, I did basically switch off as soon as he made the first joke and was like, yeah, this isn't for me. But I think it's normally because you can pick it apart and go, oh, here's what they could have done better. But I think to make it better, you have to rewrite it and recast it.
Yeah. I get it's all subjective and everything, but even then I'm like, I still just don't see anything that's particularly that funny.
Do you think you'd have less respect for someone who found this funny?
I'm now thinking like maybe because I mean I definitely would for Entourage. I don't know if it's is it as bad as Entourage? I don't think it's as bad as Entourage, because Entourage I think is willfully awful and offensive and horrendous.
Ricky Gervais is in
it. It doesn't do a lot to say.
He's in an episode, but
yeah, I don't know. I wonder if Larry David's like one of those like characters that you have to get to know a bit before you start going, oh, okay, I get it. Like, you know, Alan Partridge.
3 episodes.
Who is?
Lauren Graham.
That's a shame. But you know how, like, with Alan Partridge, it kind of takes a minute for you to go, oh, right, okay, I get it. Like, he's wanting to do this for this reason.
No, I mean, to be fair, I haven't actually given Alan Partridge that much time. Because
Okay,
I sort of bounced off the first time I saw him and went, I'm good.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Well, he's now evolved into one of those people that I will watch anything they do with him. I could watch him doing anything now. And I'd find it funny. But I just, yeah. It just didn't go for it, you know? It is that thing that you said, you know, oh, it's not for me.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, it is clearly successful and it's clearly got an audience.
Well, the fact it's been going for so fucking long as well.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm not going to be part of it. Which I'm fine with.
Yeah.
Because there are other things for me to not like. But no, I think it probably is one of those things that if you have... I mean, also, to be fair, it might be better in later seasons because it might get a bit more... I don't want to say, like...
relevant.
It might, yeah, it could just be right. Because there's some jokes in here that are like... We're talking on a car phone. Look at us. Look how successful we are. And it's like...
Yeah.
Yeah?
Well, anything
I've shouted at Joe down a Bluetooth hands-free thing in the car. Couldn't fucking hear me, but I was stuck in traffic. And he needed to know. So there's some stuff like that you're just like, nah, it's not very... I don't know, it's just not very cool. And I feel like comedy is one of those things that it sort of has to be a bit cool. Or overtly not cool. This is kind of bad.
It's weird for something that's as big in the comedy world as, you know, as this. Like, Also Seinfeld though as well. I'm like, I don't know if that's any good either. But I don't know. Maybe it's just you can't even. I was trying to think then. Oh, perhaps
Maybe we
it's
hate
just
it 'cause
of
it's
its
popular.
time. But that's we like popular stuff. But like, I wonder if like
Didn't we do like a big hour-long thing where we just went, we don't like Friends?
Well, it's not I don't like Friends. It's just that with 2023 eyes, there's a lot of jokes in Friends that actually isn't all right. Like they are terrified of the gays. They're very homophobic in Friends.
Yeah, but we did it in
Like,
2016.
all the time.
In 2016, that was fine.
Yeah, exactly.
We still didn't like it because it was popular. But How I Met Your Mother's better. Yeah. I may it's not because it's popular. That's not why we don't like it, because that would be stupid, and we'd never like a show. Yeah, I can't put my finger on what I didn't like. I think it's when your sense of humour doesn't vibe with a show and you just go, nah. It's in the same way that I don't like every comedian that I've ever watched.
Yeah. You could say that Curb Your Enthusiasm has gone down like a lead balloon.
Just like Lead Balloon did.
Yeah, fuck, that also wasn't funny, was it?
Yeah, I think
I
in a
remember
different
them.
way. In that, the trouble is, I have very good memories of watching Jack D do stand up on Jack D Live at the Apollo, and when he's been turned up on like chat shows and stuff. Jack D's funny.
Even then, I'm not a massive fan of Jack D. But I do have an interesting fact about Jack D.
Ooh.
He went to my school.
Oh. That makes one success.
Well, Colin Firth, he also went to my school.
That makes one success that I care about. But that's the thing, Jack D's also good in other things that I've seen him in. He was on Josh Widdicombe's sitcom as
Josh.
like the grumpy landlord.
I think that was just called Josh, wasn't it?
Yeah. And that was good. I enjoyed that. What else has Jack D done? Fuck, you know. It's quite a long list, but a lot of it's just he's the grumpy cunt,
Yeah.
which is fine. And I think I like that, but Rick Spleen's just a bit of a cunt.
More like Dick Spleen. I must confess I don't think I've ever really liked Jack D. And this I didn't. I'll tell you what I did like is seeing. Oh God, what's her name? There is an actress in this who was also in Teachers. She plays Susan in Teachers, and I think she's brilliant. But I can't find her. What's her name?
Is that? I can't remember who. Is that the guy who plays his daughter?
No, his wife. The lady who plays his wife. She's in Teachers, and Teachers is like I think I've said previously, like it's the first like box set that I ever had. That I was like, oh right, okay, so this is a thing. Like box sets are a thing, and I just watched hours and hours and hours of it. So I like seeing her
She was
again
in
because
Downton as well.
she's not done a huge amount, but it's nice to see her crop up. I remember this being advertised like crazy when it came out. Like, do you remember that?
Well, I think it was because of it's off the back of Jack D stopping doing Live at the Apollo. Well, when it went from Jack D's Live at the Apollo to Live at the Apollo,
Yeah.
and then he just went, "I'm going to do this."
Do you remember that? It wasn't part of the BBC, was it? But there was that Thursdays Are Funny campaign that the BBC did. I feel like it was around the same time as that.
This was on BBC Two.
Was it? Oh, I thought it was Channel 4. Okay,
Yeah,
fair enough.
BBC.
Oh, perhaps it was part of the Thursdays Are Funny sort of thing. That was,
Well, yeah, that's the thing. BBC comedy is quite good. Generally
Yeah,
speaking,
generally,
they do quite well.
occasionally there's like some duff shit, like Miranda, but
Do you know, actually, I think I liked this pilot less because she was in it.
Yeah, she's very much one of them for me as well. It's like, oh, fuck, you're in it. Okay, fine.
That's the thing. I don't even want to say that she's like Marmite because she's not.
Not yeasty enough.
She's probably yeasty enough. I don't know many people who enjoy Miranda. I bet Jack does, but I don't think I know many people who do.
I was about to say, and now you disproved that, but like it's the people who like Miranda. I'm like, oh, we have entirely different ideas of what comedy is, because you think that is what comedy is, and I don't think that is what comedy is at all.
Yeah, I was surprised that she got her own show. And then when she turns up in this, and then she's over the end credits, and I was just like, oh, please,
just stop.
Yeah, be elsewhere.
Yeah, I mean, largely, I think so. It's Lead Balloon is, without saying it, is basically a remake of Curb Your Enthusiasm over here, isn't it? And it's just
as bad.
Yeah. It's a shame.
Sorry, I didn't mean to steal the end of your sentence there.
No, that's absolutely fine. It means I don't have to finish it, so that's absolutely fine.
Yeah,
and
that's the thing. It's got quite, apart from Amanda Hart, I think it's probably got quite a reasonable cast of people who are just sort of, who I've seen in other things, like Tony Gardner, who turns up in just everything. As like, I think he's in Fresh Meat as he's the professor that Charlotte Ritchie's character gets off with.
I've still not seen Fresh Meat.
You should probably watch it at some point.
I've tried, and I just don't like it.
I suppose watching it after uni is a bit weird.
Well, it came out as we went to uni.
Yeah.
And I didn't like it then. So but yeah, it's a shame because we you know, a few weeks ago we had an absolute belter, and it's just sort of gone steadily downhill, and this is us getting to the end of the shit bit. But
we hope
next week isn't gonna be, but well, I know for at least half of it it's not gonna be, because I've watched one of them before. So our next episode we're doing is Only Murders in the Building, which is all about a podcast. So I mean, we're already pre-sold on that.
Yeah.
And Wedding Season, which again, I have no idea what that is. So I'm looking forward to seeing what that's all about.
I've already watched it, but I've sort of forgotten what it is.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good.
But, oh, no, it's good. I did enjoy it. Spoilers.